What is going on, Arkansas Razorback fans, SEC fans, and college football fans everywhere? Thank you so much for stopping by, checking out the video. You know what to do, or at least I hope you do. Like, comment, share the content you're watching. Please, I'd really appreciate the support. I'm trying to grow this channel. I really am. And if you haven't already, feel free to tap the subscribe button down below. Let's talk about let's take away the pros and the cons from the Alcorn State game, Arkansas Alcorn State game. And, of course, we'll talk about what's coming up for the Razorbacks as they prepare for Alabama. What we'll do here really quick is we'll just go over some really fast stats, and then we'll talk about the good and the bad, and we'll look forward to talking about Bama. So let's start with Alcorn State. Noah Johnson, their quarterback, 13 and 19, 158 yards. He also scampered around. He had 10 carries for 55 yards and a touchdown. So that's 5.5 yards a carry. Again, another dual threat quarterback was a little bit of an issue. Baker, 13 carries, 85 yards. McKenzie had 7 catches, 88 yards. For Arkansas, Austin Allen, once again, lights out performance. Yardage wasn't, what you like to see against Alcorn State, but my goodness, 13 of 18, 206, 3 touchdowns, no picks. That's impressive. DeVal Whaley, the freshman running back, 9 carries, 135 yards and a touchdown. That's a true freshman. That's pretty impressive. Jared Cornelius continues to stay on fire. 4 catches, 106 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Raleigh Williams also did carry the ball. He had 13 carries for 126 yards, no touchdowns. Also through the air for Arkansas, you had Drew Morgan, who had 4 catches for 47 yards. You also had LaMichael Petway, another freshman, for a 10-yard touchdown. So got to see him play a little bit. Also got to see Deion Stewart, who had a catch for 15 yards. The pros and cons here, we'll talk about the pros first. I usually like to start with the negatives with the cons. We'll start with the pros. Austin Allen, sharp. You've got 2 running backs you feel like you can lean on quite a bit this year. I had a friend of mine tell me that that the run game's been inconsistent, and I'm not inconsistent where. I'm not seeing it. The only game where they were really inconsistent was maybe the A&M game, but they had to abandon the run. Raleigh Williams was averaging 4.5, almost 5 yards a carry against A&M. They had to abandon the run because they fell behind, and they let the game slip away from them in the fourth quarter, and they had to throw the football around, which Austin Allen did quite effectively. So they had to abandon the run. The run game, don't let anybody tell you it's been ineffective or unbalanced or whatever. They're running the ball fine. Now, are they going to be able to do that going into Bama and getting into the tougher part of, when you talk about better defenses? Because you're switching from really good teams that play really great offense like TCU and Texas A&M to now you're switching over to playing the tough side of the SEC where they have some offense and they play really good defense. They have the better athletes on defense than A&M or TCU does. This is where it's going to get rough. Now, are they going to face another defensive line like they did at A&M? No. But they're going to face the best front seven that they've played all year, and probably will be the best front seven they play all year when they play Alabama this week in Fayetteville. 6 o'clock kickoff time, by the way. Yay! That's always good when the home team gets it at night. So, again, to sum it up what I was saying, they're fine. The run game, they're fine so far. So far, they've been consistent. Like I said also, they're about to play the better defensive side of their schedule, and several of those teams are really good against the run. So Austin Allen, they need to keep him protected, keep opposing defenders out of their backfield, and make plays. So negatives from this game against Alcorn State, 2 of 7 on third down, 0 for 2 on fourth down, gave up over 300 yards of offense to Alcorn State. These are all 3 negatives. And I know immediately, and I've already been told this, look, they were substituting, they were experimenting, and they were. Yes, they were. But these are things that are relative to the situation, especially when you talk about that 0 for 2 on fourth down. That's not good. And one of those, actually I think both of them, I can't recall. One of those was like a 4th and 1, 4th and 2, and our offensive line got no push. And that's what happened against A&M. So it's a reoccurring problem. Let's not act like it's not. And against a team like Bama, you just can't do that. I mean, we've talked about that before. Against good teams, you have to be able to play to your strengths. And Arkansas' strength has been and should always be under Brett Bielema solid on the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball, and they haven't been. Teams are running on Arkansas, and teams are stuffing Arkansas at the line of scrimmage when they have to. Arkansas's obviously doing fine in the run game, but at the same time, on 4th and short, 3rd and short, Arkansas's not as automatic as they were a year ago. They have new faces on the offensive line, they have new faces in the backfield, but all the same, you got to get that fixed if you want to win. If you want to win games, the schedule that's left is brutal. It is absolutely brutal. So, what did we learn from Alcorn State? Not a whole lot. That the offensive line is still. There's still questions there. That the defensive line, there's still questions there. Secondary's fine. Quarterback, receivers, everybody's fine there. Line of scrimmage play is not. That's what we've learned so far. So let's look forward. Let's take a look at Alabama really quick. So getting into what Bama does, let's look at them statistically. They are really good. Jalen Hurts is 84 out of 135 pass attempts this year for 989 yards. That's a 62% pass completion ratio. Not too bad. 7 touchdowns, 1 pick. A bright side for the Razorbacks, he doesn't throw far. He doesn't throw. He averages right at around 7 yards per throw. That's that's what these offenses do these days. They run quick slant and hitch routes and turn around and pop the receiver right when the corner isn't looking. They have a shot here at damaging this guy's completion percentage ratio. They can get in the way of throws. They can pick him off. I've watched him a couple of times. He has lucked out. There have been some throws that should have been picked. He's had some ugly throws, but the guy can throw the ball, and he can be pretty effective with his arm, but he's definitely more effective, I think, with his feet. 54 carries, 276 yards, 5 yards a carry, 3 touchdowns on the ground. So he has a total of 10 touchdowns on the ground. Can Arkansas slow him down? Probably not. We haven't even talked about Damian Harris. 42 carries, 356 yards. That's almost 9 yards a carry, 8.5 yards a carry with 1 rushing touchdown. Joshua Jacobs, 34 carries, 250 yards, 3 touchdowns. Now, I'm also not completely aware of who's healthy and who's not. I think it's a Darius Stewart who's injured, who's one of their leading receivers. They don't know if he's going to play against Arkansas or not. It doesn't sound like he will, but then again, you never know. They average 44 points a game. I mean, this is a good football team. Nick Saban said it himself. I believe Sunday said that called Arkansas really strong opponents. So Nick Saban doesn't have his blinders on. He never overlooks Arkansas that much. We know. Takes them serious every year, and he's got their number. Can Arkansas? Can they change that this week? A lot of you probably are going to say no. I'll let you know how I feel probably by Friday. I'll have a video out on what I think Arkansas does and what they don't do against Bama. So that's it for this video. Until the next one, you guys try like hell to be kind to one another. I'll see you on the next video. Peace.